Hello, my dear friends. If you're watching this, chances are you're someone who has lived through many seasons of life. You've experienced joys, challenges, and the subtle changes that come with age. And perhaps lately, one of those changes has been a little more persistent, a little more painful. I'm talking about arthritis, that stiffness in the morning, the ache in your knees after a short walk, the fingers that don't quite close into a fist like they used to. It's not just you. It's something many of us face. And while there are medications and treatments, today I want to sit with you like a good friend and talk about something small, something natural, something that, over time, might help your joints feel just a little more at ease. It's called flaxseed. Yes, flaxseed. Those tiny brown or golden seeds you might have seen at the grocery store and walked right past. They're small, but they carry within them something quite powerful, especially for people like us who are looking for ways to reduce inflammation and live with less pain. So, let's take some time together. Let's talk about what flaxseed is, why it might help with arthritis, and how you can start adding it into your life safely, simply, and deliciously. What is flaxseed? Let's begin at the beginning. Flaxseed comes from the flax plant, an ancient crop that has been grown for thousands of years. In fact, it's one of the oldest cultivated plants in human history. People first used flax for its fibers to make linen clothing, but soon they discovered that the seeds of this plant were useful too. In some ancient cultures, flaxseed was considered a healing food. Today, science is finally catching up with what traditional wisdom has known all along, that these little seeds are good for us. Very good. Flaxseed is packed with nutrients. It contains omega-3 fatty acids, especially alpha-linolenic acid or A-L-lignans, plant compounds with antioxidant and estrogen properties. Fiber, both soluble and insoluble. Protein. Yes, even in these tiny seeds. But what's especially interesting to us, those of us living with arthritis, is that flaxseed may help reduce inflammation in the body. And inflammation is at the very heart of arthritis. Understanding inflammation and arthritis. Now, before we go any further, let's pause for a moment and talk about inflammation. Inflammation is your body's natural response to injury or infection. In the short term, it's helpful. It's your immune system's way of protecting you. But sometimes, especially as we get older, inflammation sticks around longer than it should. That's when it becomes a problem. In rheumatoid arthritis, for example, the immune system mistakenly attacks the joints. Even in osteoarthritis, which is more about wear and tear, there is still a degree of chronic inflammation that worsens joint pain and stiffness. So, what can we do? We can fight inflammation from the inside out, through what we eat, through the choices we make each day. And flaxseed, well, it's one of those choices. How flaxseed helps with joint pain, let's get into the heart of it now. Why flaxseed? First, it's those omega-3 fatty acids I mentioned earlier. These fats are known for their anti-inflammatory effects. While fish like salmon and sardines are famous for their omega-3s, flaxseed is one of the best plant-based sources. That's wonderful news, especially for people who don't eat fish or prefer plant-based options. Omega-3s help reduce the production of inflammatory substances in the body. They can decrease the stiffness in joints, ease morning pain, and even improve grip strength in some people with rheumatoid arthritis. Next, there are lignans. These are compounds that act as antioxidants, helping to protect the cells in your body from damage. Lignans are also believed to support hormone balance, which can be helpful for older adults, particularly postmenopausal women, and don't forget the fiber. Flaxseed contains a mix of soluble and insoluble fiber, which helps your digestion, supports heart health, and even plays a role in reducing systemic inflammation. A healthy gut, you see, leads to a healthier immune response overall. So, you see, flaxseed doesn't just help your joints, it supports your entire body. That's The beauty of real food. It works gently, gradually, and holistically. How much should you take? This is the part many people ask me. How much flaxseed should I take, doctor? The answer is simple. Start with 1 to 2 tablespoons a day. That's it. Just a spoonful or two. Now, you'll want to use ground flaxseed, not whole. Why? Because your body can't digest whole flax seeds very well. They just pass right through you. But when you grind them up, you unlock all the goodness inside. You can buy them already ground, or you can grind them at home in a coffee grinder or blender. Either way works. Once ground, you can store them in the fridge in a sealed container for up to a week or two. Keep them cool to protect those healthy oils. How to add flaxseed to your day? Let me share with you a few gentle, easy ways to enjoy flaxseed. Sprinkle it into oatmeal. It blends beautifully with warm porridge. Add a banana or a few berries, and you have a perfect breakfast. Stir it into yogurt. A spoonful of flax, a drizzle of honey, and maybe some cinnamon. It's lovely. Mix it into smoothies. You won't even taste it, but your joints will thank you. Add it to soups. Once the soup is done cooking, stir in a tablespoon of ground flaxseed. It thickens nicely and boosts the nutrition. Use it in baking. You can mix flax into muffins, pancakes, even bread. The key here is consistency. A little bit each day, not a lot, not just once in a while. Like watering a garden, the benefit comes with time. Is it safe for everyone? Now, as always, I want to remind you, if you're on medication, especially blood thinners or hormone-related treatments, please speak with your doctor before making changes to your diet. Flaxseed is natural, yes, but it does have an effect on the body, and drink plenty of water. Fiber absorbs liquid, and you want to keep things moving gently through your system. What do studies say? You might be wondering. What does the research say? Well, there have been multiple studies showing the benefits of flaxseed for reducing markers of inflammation, like C-reactive protein, CRP. One study found that people who added flaxseed to their diet had lower CRP levels after just a few weeks. Other research has shown improvements in joint stiffness, pain levels, and even mobility in people with rheumatoid arthritis who consistently consumed omega-3 rich foods like flaxseed. Now, let me be clear, it's not a miracle. It won't take away all your pain overnight, but it's part of a larger picture, and for many that picture becomes clearer, brighter, and more comfortable. One spoonful at a time. A story from my patients. Let me tell you a story. A few years ago I had a patient. Let's call her Maria. She was in her late 70s. Lively, always smiling, but struggling with arthritis in her hands. Gardening had become difficult. Even holding a teacup was painful on cold mornings. We talked about many things: medication, exercise, diet. And then one day, she asked about flaxseed. She had read something in a magazine, so we talked. She started adding just 1 spoonful of ground flaxseed into her morning porridge. Every day, rain or shine. A few months later, she came back. The change wasn't dramatic, but it was real. Her hands didn't feel as stiff in the mornings. She could write letters again. She said it wasn't just the flax, it was also feeling like she had some control, like she was doing something kind for herself each day. That's what food can do, not just nourish the body, but give us hope, a sense of agency, a daily ritual of care. Closing thoughts. So, my friends, I'll end where I began. If you live with arthritis, you are not alone. You are part of a great community of people who are learning to live gently, wisely, and well with their changing bodies. And while medications and therapies play their role, there is also power in the small things, like a teaspoon of ground flaxseed. It's a quiet ally, one you might overlook at first, but over time it works alongside your body, supporting, soothing, strengthening. Start small. Be patient. Be kind to yourself. And remember, the goal isn't to be perfect. It's to feel a little better each day, to move with more ease, to greet the morning with less pain and more possibility. So, let's raise our cups of tea or flaxseed sprinkled, porridge and toast to health, to healing, and to the quiet strength that lives in us all. Thank you for spending this time with me. Take good care of yourself. And, as always, be well.